Hey guys, I'm back with a new video. Today I'm showing you guys how to make chicken Pelau. This is one of my favorite food to cook when you're not in the mood to cook a big feast, but you still want something delicious and yummy to eat. So the first thing to do is to start with your washed chicken pieces. You can use any type of chicken you like. Here I'm using boneless chicken thigh, but you can use any type of chicken and cut them up into smaller pieces. I'm gonna season my chicken using green seasoning, and I'm also gonna use some onion, some garlic, some cilantro and parsley. And I didn't have any pimento peppers on hand, but I also use pimento peppers when seasoning my chicken for this dish. I'm also gonna add in some onion powder, some minced onion, and I'm gonna add in some garlic powder and thyme. If you have fresh thyme, I would suggest using fresh thyme instead, and some parsley flakes. You can use whatever blend of seasonings you want to use to marinate your chicken, and you're gonna let it marinate for at least 1 hour. As I also added in some salt and black pepper, as you can see, and I let my chicken marinate overnight is best, but at least for 1 hour will be okay. So here I'm just mixing everything together, and then I'm gonna cover it and put it in my refrigerator and let it marinate overnight. So now it's time to start cooking. So I diced up 2 large carrots. You can use carrots in a can if you'd like, and you're also going to need 1 can of coconut milk and 1 can of pigeon peas. So in a large pot, I added some oil to the bottom of my pan. I put my pot over medium heat, and I just coated the bottom of my pot with oil, and then I added in 4 tablespoons of sugar. You can use white or brown sugar, and you're gonna let that start caramelizing and browning to make the coloring for your dish. So I'm gonna mix the sugar and the oil together, and then I'm gonna leave it, let it start browning and forming its color. So once you see these bubbles start forming, that's when you know that your coloring is basically ready. I'm just gonna let mine brown a little bit darker until you see the bubbles kind of start disappearing, and that's the color I'm looking for. So now I'm gonna cover my pot so it doesn't make a big mess, and I'm gonna add in about a 1/4 cup of water. And once the pot stops sizzling, I'm going to remove the lid, add in my chicken, and then give it a quick stir and let that cook for about 5 minutes so the chicken can take its color. You don't want to add too much water into the pot because the chicken won't take the color as it should, and also you don't want too much liquid in your pot either. So after the 5 minutes have passed, I'm gonna start adding in my carrots. I'm using raw carrots, so I'm adding it in now. If you're using carrots from a can, then you could add it later on. Next, I'm gonna add in some ketchup, stir my pot, cover it, and let it finish cooking for about 20 more minutes until my chicken is basically cooked. It don't have to be cooked all the way because we still have a way to go. We gotta add the rice and so on, but you want it to be at least halfway cooked already. So the next step is to add the peas. I'm adding it right before I add my rice into my pot. So now I'm going to start adding in my rice, and I'm going to mix it and then start adding in my 1 can of coconut milk, and then add in the water. So all together you're gonna do 2 cups of liquid per 1 cup of rice. So I used 3 cups of rice and added in 5 cups of liquid, including the coconut milk, and I was supposed to add in 6 cups, but I didn't add in 1 cup because the pot already had some liquid in it. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. You're adding in 2 cups of liquid per 1 cup of rice, but because there was already some liquid in the pot, I minus 1 cup from that and added in 5 cups for my 3 cups of rice, and the coconut milk counts as the liquid also. Sorry y'all, I know I just said a lot, but hopefully you guys understood what I was saying. Before your pot finishes cooking, don't forget to taste and adjust your seasonings in the pot as needed. Make sure you have enough salt. And yeah, also I used parboiled rice for this recipe, but you can use white rice. The only thing is you might need to add a little more liquid water to get the rice to cook soft and fluffy. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Also, this dish pairs really well with coleslaw. Delicious.